Good morning, campground and RV park owners, operators, and managers. Brian Searle here, founder and CEO of Insider Perks. Really excited to be connecting with you guys daily in this one-on-one video format, doing our best to offer some practical tips, tricks, marketing advice, things that you can use at your campground to help increase your revenue, increase your camper nights, and just overall be more successful. So today we're going to talk about domain names. Many of you have purchased these already for your campground. You may already own these. You may be renewing these on an annual basis. But we also want to talk about making sure that you, as the owner of the business, have control over these. Many people, believe it or not, are delegating this to employees, even their website design agency. And no matter how trustworthy these people are, no matter how great of a relationship you have with them, you need to make sure that you, as the business owner, are the sole person who can control your domain name, because you are the only one who's going to last forever at your business. So let's go ahead and dive right in. If you're looking to purchase a domain name, you're going to go to what's called a domain registrar. And for the most people who are starting a brand new business, this is kind of one of the first things you want to do. You want to make sure that the name you've chosen for your business is available in a domain. If it is not, and it's very highly competitive, people have been doing this for a long time, see if a variation or an abbreviation of your name is available, maybe a different play on words, but something short, sweet, memorable, no numbers in it, no hyphens, something people can easily remember and get back to your website, because that's the ultimate play, is making sure they can get back to your campground website, make a reservation, and come stay with you. And so, make sure that you've got this purchased if it's a new campground. If you are an existing campground, then you need to make sure that you have control over your domain name. And what I mean by that is you need to go to a website like domaintools.com. You can go to whois, WHOIS, .domain, DOMAIN, tools.com, and you can actually type in your domain name on the keyboard, and you can see who is registered as the owner of that domain name. If it's anybody but you need to be concerned, because that person legally owns your domain name. It doesn't matter if it's your business name or not. So you need to get a hold of that person, figure out who they are. If they're at your web design agency, great, but you need to reach out to them and you need to say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that we transfer the domain name over to be registered in my name as the business owner, just to make sure that I have control over it. You're more than welcome to continue to do what you're doing, run our website for us, all that kind of good stuff, but we want to make sure that we have control over that domain name. Now, there are certain circumstances where it's okay to allow someone to have a domain name inside their agency account. For example, we do it at Insider Perks. We have a corporate account where we have a ton of domain names for all of our clients registered in it. But the registered owner of every single one of those domain names is different. It is not us. It's not Insider Perks. It's not me, Brian Searle. It is one single person who owns the campground or the company that owns multiple different campgrounds. That way, legally, they are the owner of said domain name, and they can take control of it if they need to, if they were ever to need that for any reason whatsoever, or to part ways with us or whatever it may be. So very critical, very, very critical to make sure that you have control of your domain name. It's not that I'm saying anyone is untrustworthy. It's not that I'm suggesting that you should be questioning your website designer for any reason whatsoever. Just saying that this is very good practice to make sure you have control of it, because we've heard of stories many more times than you would imagine where somebody will hire a website designer, they'll go out and do everything for them, they'll register the domain name, and then can't get a hold of them. They drop off the face of the earth, they close their business, they become unreachable, and then all of a sudden, you don't have control of your domain name anymore. You can't do website updates, you can't make changes, you can't hire anybody else to do your website either, because you have no access to that domain name. And so what you're left with, if it's not registered in your name, is basically starting a duplicate website out there and causing a bunch of confusion for your customers, which is never good. So these are small things that you can do to tidy up your business, to be more organized, and to just make sure that you have more peace of mind going forward. And then circling back to, if you are a new business, domain registrars are a dime a dozen. GoDaddy's one. Hover.com is the one that we use. Tons of them out there. Just make sure it's a big, reputable site that you trust, that a lot of other people are using, and just default GoDaddy. We're not a huge fan of them and some of their services, but they do a good job. It's fairly cheap. Should only cost you between $5 and $15 a year to register a domain name to continue renewing it once a year. If you ever get a notice in the email that says, there's a letter from somebody besides where you registered your domain name that says it's in danger of expiring, please mail a check here. Those are always spam. Throw them away, discard them. All you need to do is make sure there's a credit card on file with GoDaddy.com or whoever your domain registrar is. Pay that renewal and make sure that you have control of that domain name, and only you have control over that, because there's a lot at stake, not only your website, but if your emails run through here as well. So really appreciate you guys joining us for another video. Hopefully we provided some value here, encourage you to kind of take a little bit more ownership of your domain name, of your website, of all the digital marketing things that go into that. And we'll see you tomorrow for another video.